Can try that. Does that help any now? Do I have audio? We'll give that a try. All right. Okay, so what's been going on? You're going to notice the color is a little bit funky. I've switched over to Starlink, so I had to change all my settings and been having trouble with the color setting. To make a long story short, I've been on it for about between 18 to 24 hours over the last week, trying to tweak things, and it's been frustrating to say the least. So I'm down to excellent stream health, speed, everything's good except the color, and we can work through that. So by next week I'll have that straightened out. I'm really happy with Starlink. It's a little trickier getting the settings, but that's what AI is for, right? And it walked me through like multiple steps. Anyways, speaking of steps, Carney came off the airliner in Albania, so he could go over there and be somebody, I guess. As long as he's not in Canada, he's happy. Let's see. What am I going to start with? I got a bunch of stuff lined up here. And, okay, let's start with this. Yeah, because I asked a question. I'll show you what I asked. I'll bring this up. And it is right here. I said, I asked, has Carney ever met the president of Armenia before today, officially or unofficially? Well, this is the answer that I got. It said, based on reports surrounding his visit to Armenia in May 2026, Prime Minister Mark Carney had never been to Armenia before. Well, he met with the Armenian Prime Minister, Nikol Pashinyan, something like that. I'm bad on pronunciation on Armenians. My Armenian's not really up real good. He, anyways, met with him in Yerevan on May 3rd, 2026, to discuss bilateral relations. There is no public record of him meeting with Armenia's president on holding any official or unofficial meetings with the Armenian head of state prior to his May 2026 trip. The first official trip was on May 2nd to 4th, Carney's first visit to the country, arriving to attend the 8th European Political Community Summit. Visit was focused on attending the summit as a guest of the European Council and meeting with Prime Minister Pashinyan, rather than a state visit focused on the Armenian presidency. So, there's no public record. It says he did meet with him on May 3rd, but no public record of him meeting or holding any official or unofficial meetings with the Armenian head of state prior to his May 3rd, 2026 trip. So this would be the first time that these two have met, right? Well, here's CPAC I was looking at today. Now I'm just going to play a very short minute of this, not even that, just the first few seconds of this, as Carney is greeted by the president, the Armenian president.
So, Prime Minister, it's so kind of you to come all this way. Thank you very much. Good to see you again.
Thank you for accepting this invitation.
It's my honor. It's my honor. It's a lovely. I've seen the pictures, but it's even more beautiful in person.
This is the first time
It's the first time in Armenia. Yes, the famous king.
Did you catch that at the beginning?
So, Prime Minister, it's so kind of you to come all this way. Thank you very much. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again. Did Carney just screw up there? It's not the first time they've met. According to media and all sources, they'd never met before. Carney gets out of the limo and says, "Good to see you again." Not that, you know, we should distrust Carney or anything. He doesn't lie, does he? Well, I think he's lying. Somebody's lying. If I had my if I had my doubts, I'd put it on Carney. He seems to be consistent in that's one thing he is consistent in. He's just not consistent in anything else but lying. So anyways, I just thought that was a little bit weird. So then I double checked other places too, not just on that one AI. So I didn't want to just leave it up to that. But this was the real Mr. Bench posted this, and there's a couple of things here with this too. Let me bring it up here. There. Where is it? Right here. So how much is that going to cost us? How much is Freeland going to get? How much is Freeland going to get, and how much is Zelinsky going to get? They're in it together. So this is another payoff, buy-off, whatever. Just another scam. And this... let's see. Let's see if I can bring this up. Let's see. Actually, rather than bringing this up, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you on this video. Watch Carney as he exits the plane and how different he is from President Trump when he exits the plane. You notice we've got a Canadian airman standing there saluting Carney. Whether he likes it, wants to or not, he has to. That's protocol. So he's standing there saluting Carney. And what does Carney do? He comes out, waves to everybody. He doesn't acknowledge the airman at all. He's just all happy to be in the European Union, and yeah, but he's really pro-military, right? No, he doesn't even recognize the airman standing there at attention, saluting. He's supposed to salute back so the guy can drop his arm. Well, anyways, that's where we're at, right? So We got, this is, once again, real Mr. Bench posted this. This is the flight, and he's heading over to Albania, make some deals with pipelines and things, right? Something we kind of like to have in Canada, but we can't because he's kind of busy flying over to Albania. And look where he's going to go. This flight halfway around the world just to get there. You know, Mr. Climate Change alarmist. And eventually it reaches its destination, Armenia. Anyways, that's our money going down the drain. It's going to be interesting to see how many billions of dollars. Is it going to be 1.5 billion? That's my guess for Zelinsky. Seems to be one of their favorite numbers. I don't think it'll be under $1 billion. So we'll see. Okay, carrying on. Okay, I gotta come out of that. And I had as you know, you probably know, most will know, what happened this past week in Parliament. It's just no big deal, just shutting down the cameras and kicking the media out so that they can do their dirty deeds behind closed doors. So
what we've seen this week is exactly what Liberals denied was going to happen. The first thing the Liberals did with their newfound majority that was put together through backroom deals and secret negotiations is not make life more affordable for Canadians, not find new ways to lower the tax burden or to restrain wasteful spending. It wasn't to undo any of the anti-development laws that chase away investment into our country. No, instead, the very first thing they did was stack the deck on committees to give themselves a majority to shut down investigations. And that's what we're seeing at many committees throughout this week. This was not the power that the Canadian people gave this government at the ballot box. This is not what Canadians voted for. This is an abuse of power that flows out of backroom deals and secret negotiations rather than power that was granted at the ballot box. So it's even worse that the Liberals are using their majority this way. We've seen ethics investigations into procurement scandals, investigations into how, studies into how budgets affect various stakeholders in Canada, all shut down or moved behind closed doors. The Liberals have actually moved motions to turn off the cameras, to stop the transcription, and to kick journalists and the public out of the room rather than let transparency and accountability guide their actions. So once again, this is incredibly disappointing, but it is once again just another proof point that Mark Carney is not special. He is just another Liberal. He is doing the same things that Liberal governments always do when they have the power, and that is to block investigations into their own scandals.
Based on what you've seen with the committees going in camera, were any of them legitimate uses of the in-camera kind of tool?
Not at all. For example, there's a prescribed IT procurement scandal where millions of taxpayers' money seems to have gone to another bloated IT contract that has gone way beyond the original costs. We need to know why that happened, who made those decisions. That is a normal thing for a committee to do. The Veterans Affairs Committee wanted to just have a study on how the budget affects veterans. Liberals blocked that as well. This move to in camera is completely undemocratic because that is, when a committee is in camera, it means the cameras are actually shut off. It means they stop transcribing the remarks and the public and the media are kicked out of the room, so nobody knows what actually happens. That is not a way to run a government, by hiding facts and information from the Canadian people.
Have you been able to speak with the government House leader or his team about this, and what has their reaction been, if so?
This has come right out of left field. This is without any kind of discussion, without any kind of problem looking to be solved. They've just started doing this. This is a brand new tactic when you follow the chronology, they get their majority through these backroom deals. They immediately bring in a motion to stack the deck on committees, and then they immediately start to implement this tactic. This goes to show you that I believe this was part of the goal of Mark Carney getting that, cobbling together his majority, not to address the needs of Canadians, not to make life more affordable for Canadians, not to undo the damage of the last 11 years of Liberal government, but to make life easier for him, to make it easier for him to hide his scandals, to hide misuse of taxpayers' money. So it's extremely disappointing. And it's an abuse of power. It's not just an abuse of power, it's an abuse of power that was not granted to the Prime Minister at the ballot box. It was a power that he cobbled together through backroom deals. So, that adds insult to the injury.
Yeah, it's, I think it's going to start to fall apart. I mean, some people just have to realize that they were lied to and they voted for him, and we're stuck with them now. It's going to be hard to get them out. They're covering everything up, so the elbows up crowd won't know what's going on. Not that they pay attention anyways. They watch CBC and CTV and Global, so. But anyways, it's going to make it that much harder, right? It's scary. We have gone full.
What we've seen this week is exactly.
Okay, hang on there, sure, we heard you. We have gone full communist now. We have the likes of this. This is from Wiretap Media, and this. I hate to subject you to this person, Rachel Gilmore. I'm sure some people are very familiar with who this nut job is. But there's worse out there too. She is ragging on about, she's attacking Jasmine Lane, claiming the men who crashed her private night out at a public bar, where there was public bar in capital letters, were there to eliminate her. And the Second Sons Canada has regrets over the situation, but it falls apart as she gets talking here. But you're only going to be suffering through 3 minutes of it, okay? So thankfully it's only 3 minutes. I'll just bring her up here and we'll take a quick look at this.
I talked about the neo-Nazis that showed up to harass me on a private night out. And this is a bar that's like a LGBTQ friendly, super progressive, like have free Palestine in their Instagram bio, like, and they stand there staring at me like 5 feet apart from one another. Like one of them standing in front and the other one's like 5 feet behind him. And they're standing there staring at me in silence. So they do that until I like acknowledge them and like register that they're there. And then after I don't remember if like at this point, like I wrote down a statement the night of and stuff, but going off the dome right now, I don't remember if like who spoke first or what, but like I go up to him and I'm like, can I help you with something? Because they're clearly there, they're standing there, you know, like they're not there hanging out. They're there staring at me and like angrily and immediately confront me about my journalism. That is not normal. That is expressly going out to intimidate a journalist. But these guys, I think they regretted it, or at least some of their buddies and like second sons and shit did, because they started trying to say, oh, someone ran into you on a night out and you got scared, like, grow up. Like, it could have gone really, really south. I could have gotten badly hurt or even killed. And that was sort of the thing that sunk in after they left, was I was like, Jesus Christ, that could have been so much worse. And my security that I had hired because I was worried something like this would happen, he said to me, like, he was like, I don't know how it would have gone, like, if they had tried something, because there were two of them and they were like, you know, guys who work out a bunch, you know? So it could have been really bad. And knowing that that was the consequence of my journalism, my public interest journalism, exposing Nazis for being Nazis. So, like, why the fuck are you so pissed? Just don't be a Nazi, you dumbass. Like, if you don't want people to call you a Nazi. So to have that experience and then see this from someone who is so intertwined with Pierre Poilievre, like, it feels like there's, like, on a democratic level, I don't know, like, it's just like, it's wild to have someone gaslight you about that kind of a level of a violent threat to a journalist who also has the approval of like the leader of the official opposition and his party. Wow. So on that note, I am going to read you what Jasmine Lane said about me. This is a person who, one, spoke at the Conservative Party convention, two, has done more than one-on-one sit-down with Pierre Poilievre, including most recently, like, a month ago.
Oh, no. That's terrible. A one-on-one. You know, she is obviously lying because, for one thing, she said, I don't know who spoke first. Well, then she comes back and says, well, they just come over and confronted me, you know. Are you saying they spoke first? Or did you call them Nazis first? Or, and oh, how dare Jasmine have an interview with Pierre because those other guys are Nazis? And they kind of, like, that means Pierre must be a Nazi. That woman is disgusting and desperate. And she'll never learn because she's even trying the fake Valley Girl accent. That's like so 80s, kind of 90s, Rachel, give it up. Oh boy. But hey, we could be over in Europe, where the land of the free, right? Where you're allowed to protest, right? Openly, free to say what you want. Kind of like, I think what Carney's trying to set up for Canada, what Trudeau wanted to do, but now Carney's picked up the pace. Here's Ursula von der Leyen, in a public event here speaking, and there's a protester out there. So, it's okay to protest.
They can be happy that they are in a free country, like Finland, where the free speech is a right, where they have not any restrictions. If they would be in Moscow, they would be in jail in 2 minutes. They can be...
As they're arresting a protester, yeah, they can be in jail 2 minutes. Well, she's looking right at them. They don't mind just outright lying, do they? Because that's their MO. Calling people the old German military names and throwing that around, but they should just be looking in the mirror and they'll see exactly what they have been saying. Now, getting off the politics, this is an older clip here, and this is, I'm not sure what the date was, but it's from 60 Minutes. And well, Billy Gates in action here, right? And they seem to be quite proud of it anyways, so I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Billy Gates and his diseases that he likes.
So this is what all the fuss is about.
This is the first synthetic species.
And how long did it take you to make this?
Well, if you count the total time from the conception, about 15 years.
And how many millions?
About $40 million over that entire time period.
In practical terms, it's about as useful as the mold that grows in a bachelor's refrigerator. But scientifically, it's a milestone. The bacteria, which is similar to one found in the intestines of goats, was designed on a computer, manufactured in the laboratory, and gets its genetic instructions from a synthetic chromosome made by man, not nature.
And it's alive.
It's alive and self-replicating. It means it can indefinitely grow and make copies of itself.
Did you design this to do anything in particular?
No, we designed this just to see if we could do this whole experiment using synthetic DNA. And now that we know we can do it, it's worth the effort to now make the things that could be valuable.
Just how valuable remains to be seen, but Venter believes this is the first baby step in a biological revolution, one in which it will be possible to custom design and reprogram bacteria and other organisms to churn out new medicines, foods, and clean sources of energy.
What you're doing is programming cells, like somebody would program software.
DNA is the software of life. There's no question about it. And that's key to evolution of life on this planet. And now the key to the future of life on this planet is understanding how to write that software.
So you see bioengineered fuel, for example.
I see in the future bioengineered almost everything you can imagine that we use.
How far off is some of this?
The first things will start to come out in the next few years. I think possibly next year's flu vaccine could come from these synthetic DNA processes. Instead of months to make a new vaccine each year, we could do it in 24 hours or less.
Well, that kind of reminds you of like 2020, 2022, right? So, there I am. Bioengineered, self-replicating. The first one didn't work real good, so the next one's coming. And, well, I said I was getting away from the politics, but I can't help it. I got to show you this one. These are the, this woman has a t-shirt on that says, "Make America Kind Again." It's M-A-K-A, which is Make America Kind Again. Okay, so I'm just setting the stage here for what's going on. I don't know her definition of kindness, but I can't see what's so kind about her.
Escucha. Escucha. Escucha, estamos en la lucha. Escucha, escucha.
Somebody's deranged grandma. Where's grandma this weekend? Oh, she's out beating on an effigy of the president. And then she's going to come home and bake cookies. What's your grandma doing? Josh Ryan put this up on the 2nd of May. I guess I got more politics. This is a reminder. It's a reminder that during the 2019 federal election, just weeks before voting day, Rosemary Barton and the CBC participated in a lawsuit against Andrew Scheer and the Conservative Party and lost. The lawsuit was deemed an attempt at election interference by many. Well, Rosemary, it didn't work out for you, did it? I bet she'd hate that picture. What else did I have? For our American friends, there's this one. Bradshaw, damn you, Donald Trump, for raising our gas prices in Canada. Oops, sorry. Donald Trump didn't impose the carbon tax on Canadians. It's Mark Carney. Look at the price. Self-serve, $2.07. Actually, 2008. They tried to fool you with the 0.9. We'll say $2.08. That's per liter, not per gallon. You got to multiply that by 4.5 or 3 or whatever it is, 7, I don't know. I'll just say 4.5 to make it easy, which would be $9 a gallon. But hey, it's all about values, right? Let's keep the people poor, and let's get some of those new cool Petri dishes filled up there so we can get this stuff going for these peons that are acting up. And the reason why they're acting up, because they're not happy. This here was, this one here is the change in population in the country. And it happened under Trudeau and Carney. And what this shows is the white population, oh, how dare I say white population in a good way, because the lefties will be losing it and the government will be saying I'm a racist and all that garbage. But anyways, these are just facts and numbers, right? In 1971, Canada was 95% white, Caucasian population. And then in 2021, it was 68%. In 2026, it's 58% and changing rapidly. You can look at Alberta. It went from 95% down to 52%. British Columbia, 93% down to 51%. Manitoba, 92% down to 49%. Ontario, 96% to 51%. Nova Scotia, 98 to 74. Newfoundland and Labrador, 99 to 77. But my little home province of New Brunswick is kind of holding its own from 99% to 78. We still get the highest population of Caucasians. Prince Edward Island, PI, 99 to 72. Quebec, 97 to 73. Saskatchewan, 94 to 57. What happened to Saskatchewan? So these are little details that you don't really going to see out there because, you know, it's kind of like, you can't say that. That's not right. You can't say that. You should have your elbows up. Sorry, my elbows don't go up. We had, here's another stat that's nothing to be bragging about. There's no bragging rights here on this one either. It's just a liberal destruction of the population, the youth. Says, a girl in Canada has her breasts cut off every 6 days. Congratulations to all the school personnel who normalized child mutilation. This is what they're doing to the young gals and the young guys. It's called communism. Is taking down the population. They're destroying the population and replacing it, bringing in replacements. And then the older ones that voted, you know, those darn boomers that put that government in, well, the government's looking after them because they're big uptick in the MAID program, right? So don't worry there. Well, folks, government's got you in mind and haven't forgotten about you. They appreciate the vote, but they still got to get rid of you because you're collecting a pension, and that's coming out of their money. They can't steal it, so it's better if they don't, you know, they don't just stop it. Yeah, we're going down bigly. I gotta clear some windows off here, and then I'll see what I've got left. Oh, we've got this. We have this. There's still hope. I tell people don't give up hope, whatever you do. Because once you give up hope, it's all downhill from there. We have the event posters. I don't know what happened to Alberta. They're not on here yet. This is for the May 16th protest. So we got British Columbia. They're going to be at the Pacific Highway crossing at 10 a.m. And that's on May 16th. And then Saskatchewan will be at, they're going to meet in Yorkton, and they're going to head off to Fleming, Saskatchewan, and Coquilla, Manitoba border. Manitoba, they're going to meet at, where are they meeting? Meet times 9 a.m. Oh, they're meeting on Highway 1, Stewart Road, 28035 Stewart Road, destination Manitoba, Ontario border, Quebec, 3200 Jean-Yves Street, Kirkland, meet time 9 a.m. Ontario, London Winners parking lot, 765 Exeter Road, London, Ontario, 9 a.m. Heading to the Windsor-Detroit border. New Brunswick, 198 Beardsley Road, Woodstock, New Brunswick, Murray's Irving, 9 a.m. Heading to the Holton, U.S.-Canada border. And Nova Scotia, 6757 Highway 2, Enfield. Meeting 9 a.m. Destination Nova Scotia, New Brunswick border. So we do have that. Like I say, people are not giving up. They're getting motivated. And I hope they have good turnout. I won't be making that one, but I'll be watching online. I want to be posted on what's happening. I'll try to make sure I look at those any uploads of videos from these protests. So I am a member of their Telegram group, so I should be getting updates. So as they come in, I will be posting them, or I'll be gathering them, whatever, for the Sunday live. I'll see how that works. Hopefully I can get them. Just want to take a quick look at the chat here and see what's going on. Emma, Carney gave you a $2 raise on pension, but the price of food went up a lot more. Phil, 10 more months I get OAS, GIC. Well, good for you. Hope there's some left. Oh, you're on disability benefit. They don't like you. Get certification. Hello there. And Bill sure paid in when you were working. Yeah, I hear you. Same here. But they don't like us collecting those pensions. You're just supposed to pay in and then go get the government shot, because they care so much about you that they want to get that shot into you, so that, then if you make it through that, you might get a year of pension before it really kicks in. Let's see. And who else we got? Rhea Timmermans. Moved to Alberta, everyone. Yeah, I left Alberta, but now I'm stuck in Atlantic Canada. There's worse places. Could be stuck in BC. I left there, and that place has gone completely crazy. Nobody knows if they own their land or not anymore, and they don't know if they own their house. So, yeah. Bill, you in BC, I would be loading up the truck, trailer, whatever you got, and heading off to Alberta. So, BC has a little bit of hope on the horizon, but we'll see. See what happens. We get an election here coming up, but there's going to be so much damage. It's like what Eby has done to BC and what Trudeau and Carney have done to Canada. How do you recover that? I don't know if it'll ever happen. So, railroad, I would if I was younger. Yeah, I would too. But I have a place in the bush that I can get away from everybody and all the crazies. We're not too bad here right now. The population of Fredericton is, I think it's around 80,000. It's not bad. I've lost track. I see a lot of newcomers. I was in a strip mall the other day. All I want to do is get a loaf of bread. I wanted to get the in-store baked bread because it doesn't have all the additives and stuff in it, right? So I parked the truck, and this is a big strip mall. I mean, there's a lot of stores there and a lot of people crossing from the parking lot over get into the stores. And I heard this engine rev up, and I thought, whoa, and I stopped, and it was a Sikh driving one of those big high-top delivery vans. And he put that thing right to the floor and went flying down through that strip mall, because I think he probably had to stop for a pedestrian. He didn't like that, because he has, in his mind, priority. And everybody better get the hell out of his way or I'll just run over you. That's our new Canada. I see more of this every day. This is a small city. I thought I left that behind when I left Vancouver, but it followed me. It took it about 15, 20 years to get here, but it's here. But those numbers I showed you on there for the provinces and the white Caucasian population, we're still winning here in New Brunswick. So, for now, it's sketchy out there. You know who's doing all the deliveries. You know who's driving all the taxis. You know who's driving those semis out there on the highways. You know who's driving basically anything. They don't like physical labor, so they'll just get behind the wheel. And whatever. That's what we're into in Canada now. And that's up in Yellowknife too, eh? That's a shame. I'm surprised they go that far north, you know. They must be getting a lot of good handouts to head up there. And I bet you mosquitoes don't bother them because they probably smell too bad because they haven't had a bath. Oh, I'm going to be called a racist now. It's true. I get into a cab in Vancouver out in Coquitlam, and I had to have the window down with my head hanging out the window. The guy stunk that bad. I couldn't breathe. It was cutting my breathing off. A lot of times they just spray perfume in the cab so that it covers up the body odor, but you can't breathe for the smell of the perfume. Liquid gal, Fred. Heck, they're building a mosque in Mission. Wow. It's a takeover. It's a replacement. And Canada is the worst right now out of the G7 because we've had the worst leaders. I see that Carney's going to be meeting with the British Premier there. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I can't stand the guy. Anyways, you're going to be meeting with him and Zelinsky. So, Starmer, that's it, Emma, thanks. Starmer, yeah. Starmer and Zelinsky. Now there's a pair, and Carney. There's the three amigos. What are they cooking up? Who's getting all the money? I guess Zelinsky gets the money, and but Freeland's going to get her cut, right? Because that's her job now, and I guess Starmer, I guess he's just maybe going to hand some cash over. That's probably what this is all about. It's not about pipelines or anything. I checked into Brookfield Management over in Armenia. They're not really in there much, so it's not that. I think it's more of a grift, money laundering trip. Another 1.5 billion or something, then Carney will get a kickback somehow. So that's just my guess. I'll just say I've got that funny feeling that we're gonna get screwed on this. I wanted to know too how much I guess I took it off there. No, I didn't. I think it's right here. I asked, yeah, here it is. I might as well show you while I'm looking at it. It's I asked my old buddy Grok here. What will be the estimated cost of Carney's trip to Armenia, and what is the intention? Mark Carney, Canada's Prime Minister in brackets, well, yeah, unfortunately, is on a short official trip to Yerevan, Armenia, May 2nd to 4th, 2026, for the 8th European Political Community EPC Summit. First time ever that somebody out of the EU visited for that. So that's right there brings up the flags, right? The intention, the purpose, trip's main goals, according to Carney's office and reports, are deepen ties with European leaders and advance strategic cooperation on politics, security, and infrastructure. Security for who? Is the EU going to supply security for Canada? Are they going to build pipelines for us in Canada? I don't think so. Support Ukraine's defense. There goes the money. And push for broader European backing via meetings with leaders like Ukraine's Zelinsky and UK's Starmer. Oh, drum up more trade and investment with Europe. Right. I don't think we have any freighters or anything to ship stuff with. Amid efforts to diversify away from the heavy U.S. reliance. Oh, yeah. This is Canada's first time as a non-European participant at the EPC Summit and the first Canadian Prime Minister visit to Armenia in nearly a decade since Trudeau. Oh, so Trudeau managed to get in there too, that dirty dog, eh? 2018. He was probably handing out cash there too. Everywhere he went, he was handing out cash. Carney has held bilateral meetings with Armenian PM Nikol Pashinyan, and other European figures on the margins. Experts note a shift toward economic defense priorities over pure democracy, human rights advocacy in the region. So we're going to be paying for Europe's defense. No official full cost has been released because the trip is very recent and ongoing, and the detailed breakdowns often come later. Like the food bill, I'd like to know what that's going to cost. More than the fuel, probably. Rough estimate for this short trip, 2 to 3 days. Small to medium delegation, likely in a range of 100,000 to 400,000 plus Canadian. Covering government aircraft, charter flights, security, accommodations, catering, support staff based on patterns from Carney's other international trips. I'd throw another 500 grand on that just for expenses. Context from similar Carney trips, in-flight catering alone often runs tens of thousands, 50,000 for short European legs, up to 150,000 for larger ones. What are they eating for $150,000? A lot more than that Bev Oda $16 orange juice, eh? That she got fired for, Harper. Full flight costs, especially if chartering, can hit hundreds of thousands. Hotels and delegation expenses add more. A small, brief summit trip like this would be on the lower end compared to multi-country or G20 style visits, which can exceed 500,000 to 2 million plus. Costs are taxpayer funded, of course, via departments like Global Affairs Canada, National Defence for the Security Aircraft, and the Privy Council Office. Exact figures for Armenia will likely emerge in future disclosures. I don't think so. That's why it's in camera now. This is a standard high-level diplomatic engagement for a G7 leader. Well, I would say that no, we're not going to get that information because they just put everything in camera. It's all being hid. So, who knows? We might get a number on how much Zelinsky got his grubby little hands on, but will we really? Maybe not. You know, it might just be, I'll just hush hush. We will see, but I don't count on it. Okay, so I've got a video for the end, okay? So this one here, now it's staged, the guy put it together, but it's a doggy video, but the guy put it together, and I think he did an okay job on it. I'll show you what I'm watching here. Where is it? Right here. And here we go.
Hey, you're going to in this for a bit. Come on.
You've come to the right place. My goal is to get you playing music right now.
I'm here to grab Teddy.
That is nasty. Who would want to eat that many hot dogs? Anyways, I'm going to a cookout. Here's my card. DoorDash some hot dogs. Be good. spent $1,300 on DoorDash? And what's that smell?
I think he did a pretty good job on the video. So, we got another week ahead of us. And it's going to be very boring because this in camera is going to really shut things down. We're not going to know what's going on. We're going to get a bill. We won't see it coming. We don't know if our Canada pension plan is going to be tinkered with, our OAS is going to be tinkered with. They've got the new wealth fund, the debt fund that they're pouring money into, and I know a couple of elbows up guys here. I'm going to suggest to them that it's a good place to invest in. It seems they got their elbows up. Throw your money into that wealth fund, and Carney will make you rich. So maybe they will, and then I can laugh at them when they get their pockets turned inside out saying, damn, I'm broke. Okay, on that note, folks, have a wonderful week. I hope you make out okay. I'm going to have to tinker with the color on this. Other than that, I think I'm okay on the stream. It didn't freeze up. So thank you very much for joining in here and hanging in. We'll do it again next week. Oh, Liquid Gill. Yes, military. Carney took their $1,500 deployment bonus away from them. So now they're overseas and they're missing out on $1,500 a month. He's just looking after our military, isn't he? Hey, what a guy. Okay. I'll leave on that note. Bye for now. God bless.